Hey everybody out there, this is Mike Philippine. This is going to be my first, probably going to be my last cooking video for you guys, but you guys know that I'm real frugal on my spending, and I do a lot of cooking at home, or I do some cooking here anyway, and when I do go out I usually have one meal out per day. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite dishes that I like to make, and it's called goulash. G-O-U-L-A-S-H. It's the American goulash. It originally came from Europeans many years back, and the Americans adopted it and they changed it. They make it out of pastas, vegetables, and just all kinds of stuff. Well, today I'm going to show you how I make my goulash here in the Philippines, coming from Texas with a little bit of a Texas flair on it. And what I do is I make a big pot. Just make a big wad of it at a time. That way I munch out on it for breakfast, or if I eat breakfast, I can munch out for lunch or dinner. I can make a batch of this and it'll last me a whole week, for at least 4 or 5 days, and never goes to spoil. I got a good ref over here and keeps it nice and cold. And for this big old pot, it cost me about $11 US. So for $11, well, I can eat for a few days and have something just scrumptious. It's awesome. Let me show you what I've got. I got about 1 kilo, just over 1 kilo, about 1.25 kilos. I got a little heavy this time, of ground round. This is really good stuff. It's hard to get good beef, but I get it fresh from the market. They grind it right there. I can watch them do the work. And this cost me 261 pesos. You can get about 200 pesos worth, 1 kilo. That's all you need. I like a little more meat in mine, so I put a little special in it. Okay. I use some diced tomatoes, and it's got some garlic in it, which adds to it. I use a can of beans, pinto beans. I like the ranch style beans, but I can't get those here, so I use pinto beans, and they're good. Now, here's the secret. I use Hunt's pasta sauce, the Italian style, in a can, and this is in the imported section. If you go to the regular aisle and you get the Italian sauces, because they like spaghetti here in the Philippines, you're going to get, even though it doesn't say Filipino style, it's going to be sweet. And I'm not really keen on sweet spaghetti, but the Filipinos, they love it. So I got a nice big old can of the pasta. So when you add these three in here, and you've got a little over a kilo or 2 pounds of ground beef in it, you got yourself one heck of a meal. Now, as far as the pastas that I use the larger round spaghetti. The noodles are excellent. I love the noodles. I eat noodles most of my life. But I like the spaghetti here, and I get the larger ones, and then I undercook them. You don't want to cook them until they're real soft and whatever. You want to undercook them just a little bit, because you're going to be putting them in and out of the refrigerator, putting them in the microwave to warm them up. So you want to make sure they're a little bit undercooked, and it's fabulous, and they always last. I got the better grade. I can get a 500 kilo or a 500 gram package for a lot less, but I paid about 80 pesos. All in all, about 11 bucks total. Okay, what I've done is I've taken a couple of whole garlics here, busted them up, chopped them up, peeled everything off, got them in here really refined and granulated. I got a full onion here. It's a nice big one. Got it all chopped up. Now I'm fixing to saute it. I'm going to show you the secrets on how I make this stuff taste so good. But here we are, we're ready. Got a whole onion, got 2 whole garlics all chopped up, busted up, ready to go. Okay, I've taken some oil. You want to take a little bit of oil, and you want to put a little oil in your pan and saute these garlic and the onion. I like sauteing them, and not a whole lot. I'll cook them down a little bit, and I'll show you what I like to do with them later. When I get ready, I'm going to leave some of the garlic and some of the onions in the pan sauteed, and then at the end of it, then I will take, when I get ready to put the meat in and start browning the meat, I'm going to take about half of them out, put them on top of the meat, so when you got the fire coming up, you got your lid on your meat, it cooks together, and you've got the garlic and the onions, and it just soaks throughout the meat and it makes for an awesome flavor. I use a little bit of garlic salt on it, a little bit of salt. I don't really like using a lot of salt except for just flavor. And one of my secrets is cumin seed, cumino, and we use it in Mexican food, but it's cumin seed, and it's really good stuff. And then of course black pepper, and I'll be doing that to the seasoning to the meat. When we get this sauteed, and get ready and get the meat on here. Remember guys, this is your $10 meal. This is going to last you several days. And it's good. You have breakfast, lunch, supper. Now Rowena's at work. She's working, and I've been doing all the cooking. She woke up today and I had just a real big treat for her for lunch. She took a nice picture of it. It was fruits and vegetables and corn and watermelon, bananas. I got a nice big rack of fresh bananas. Oh man, this is starting to smell good too. Now in our kitchen, we'll pull the camera back here. This is my stove. This is what I have to cook with. And it's just a rather small kitchen, but I'm paying 8,000 a month peso, 8,000 pesos a month. I got nice cabinets up here. Keep all my spices and coffee and strainers and all that stuff. And it comes with a refrigerator, and I bought a microwave. Cabinet storage down below, drawers for the silverware and stuff. Some people think you can't live nicely in the Philippines for a little bit of money, but I seem to do it. I can smell that garlic now. Yum. All right, check this out. I've got a layer of sauteed onions and garlic underneath it, and I put the ground chuck on here, or the ground beef on here, and then I put another layer of the garlic, sauteed garlic and onions on the top. I've got a layer of my cumin seed, that's the pepper, the salt, and I'm fixing to close it up, button it up, and let it cook down. Voila! Okay, what I like to do, I'm fixing to start my spaghetti now, and got the water getting up to a boil. What I like to do is I like to break my spaghetti in half. It was a lot easier to dish out than to fight the long noodles. So I've got it all broken in half, and when I cook these, I'm going to cook them just a little bit undercooked. That way they're good for a long time. Okay guys, what I do here, you can see it's simmering nice. Get all those juices and all that garlic in there, and all those onions, boiling everything up. And we're cooking off a lot of that fat and cooking out whatever water and fat we might have in it. I'm going to let it cook down, and then in a little while, then I'm going to start turning it, rotating it. And once it's cooked a little more, I will pour that grease off into my coffee container back here. I use my coffee containers to store my old grease, and that way I'm able to throw them out. And I'll turn it in a couple of times, and then I will leave the lid off, and I will brown the meat. That's one of the secrets that I use. You want to brown that meat if you can. Can hardly wait. Okay guys, one of the things I like to do, and you know, everybody's got their own way of cooking, but when I get through with my noodles, especially when I know I'm going to have a dish that I'm going to be serving over a period of 2 or 3 days, I like to go ahead and get in here and rinse the spaghetti out, or rinse the noodles out with cool water. And when you do that, you're washing out the starches. The starches is what kind of makes all those noodles stick together and stuff later. Makes for a kind of a yucky little mixture there. So I come in here, the noodles are cooked, it's just a little bit undercooked, it's perfect. Gotta watch it, rinse it out with cold water. Ready to go. Okay, now meat's about ready. I'm gonna pour the grease off, the water off, and brown it. I've got the rest of the stuff being sauteed here. got everything poured together here. I got the spaghetti sauce, I've got the beans, I've got the tomatoes, and what you want to do with these is you want to saute them. You want these to go ahead and cook down a little bit. And when I get these done, then I'm going to pour the meat in there and then let it all simmer for about 20-25 minutes. Okay, I've got all this grease poured off. Had to go to a second container here, and I'll put this one out tomorrow for the trash. Got it all done. I've got another layer. If you can see the seasonings on there, I put some more cumin seed in there, a little more black pepper, and a little bit of salt for flavoring. And I'm going to be browning the meat now. I've cranked the fire up a little bit on it. I'll be browning the meat. Oh, this is going to be so good. And it's going to be good for several days in a row. Spaghetti's done. The sauce is heating over here. One of the things that I don't use, and you're going to find that here in the Philippines, is when you've got a Filipino doing your cooking for you, she's going to reach in here to one of these little trusty containers, and she's going to pull out some magic syrup. I don't like magic syrup, maybe unless it's on pancha bihon or Filipino food. But when I'm making American food or eggs, I don't want to use magic syrup. I don't want my foods to be what I'm used to. And then I will pig out when I'm doing the Filipino foods. Now looky here. Look at how good that is. Man. Perfect. Guys, come over to Mike's house. Come over to Mike Philippine's house. Have some goulash. Oh my goodness. I think every time I make this stuff, it just gets better and better. Now this is about ready. Sauce is getting hot over here. Been cooking a few minutes. And we're about ready to combine. Absolutely perfect. A little bit more salt. You don't want to over salt it. It's real easy to get your foods over salted here. Too much salt's not that good for you. Wow. Alright guys, check this out. Look at that. Oh man. Smells so good. We got the beef in there. We're doing some saute. We're going to go ahead and let this cook down now. Got it all mixed together. The noodles are ready. I'm going to put a lid on it. Let it cook down a little bit. And this is how I cook goulash in the Philippines. Oh my goodness. This is so spectacular. Much better than Jollibee's. Now guys, I want you to know, I'm not here to replace Martha Stewart or Myra or Rona or any of these other cooking shows. This is just to show you how I can cook a meal in a bowl. Look at this. This thing is heavy. Now, this is going to last me a bunch of days. I'm excited about it. I make one of these about every 10 days. It lasts me about 4 or 5. In between, I have Jollibee's, Mang Inasal, and then a lot of times I'll end up at some Filipino's house, or Filipina's house, and we have some adobo or some whatever. And so I have a wide variety, and then I cook breakfast, American breakfast here with some kind of variations of the breakfast meat. But this is how I cook. This is my first, probably going to be my last cooking show for you guys. I hope you enjoy. American Goulash by My Philippine Journey.